Alright, hey everyone, Jared Napolitano here, JNAP, as I go by a little more short form, marketing advocate for the PC. I'm doing one more of these game replay streams for the 2023 Retro League. This is going to be event number 1. I think I might have actually written event 2 in the description, but this is on Premiere-Hoth. I have 2 game replays. One of them is my own, which was a really close game, and another one I got submitted from someone in the league. They said it was a very, very interesting game. So, as always, hope these streams are helpful to new and returning players. We don't really have a ton of streams on the YouTube channel in this format, this old school format of Premiere-Hoth. So it's like the late 1996, early 1997 meta, way back. So like 27, 26 years, whatever you want to say. At least 26 years, I guess. 26 years ago. So we'll go through, I'll try to talk some strategy, give some what I was thinking in certain situations, and then also this other game, all I know is that it was very close, decided by one card. I wanted to be in suspense of exactly what happens, so hopefully the review will be a little more organic that way. So it won't do too much else. Just one quick shout out that the second event of the 2023 Retro League starts in about a week. Sign-ups close in 5 days. That's on March 10th, the sign-ups close. And the pairings are going to be done on like March 11th, and people can start playing their Game 1 on Sunday, March 12th, and most likely maybe the 13th. And then we have the Premiere to Special Edition Retro event. That's going to like the annual online retro event, which will have like a cut to like a top 8 and be pretty competitive. We got some pretty sweet prizes for it. That'll start end of April. Signups for that will start end of March. We'll of course broadcast how to sign up exactly. There's been some teasers about it on the forums, but we'll give more detail. Just real quick before we jump in. So of course EBT, our technology advocate, prepared some stats. This event ended like about a week ago, and John Carr won. So congratulations to him. But it looks like Darkside wins about 56% of the time, based on the sample size of, 156 games. Almost dead even Death Star and Ice Plains as a starting location at 61 and 60. And then all other locations looks like around maybe 35, 40 other alternatives. And then Lightside Obi-Wan's Hut was the starting location in 72 games, so almost half, with the main power generators in 27 and the Echo Command Center in 20. So that just kind of sets the stage on. Usually Darkside, I guess, is stronger. We still have like Sense Ultra battles and all that fun stuff. So I'll jump in here. So this was game 5. This was me versus Tony, who's from Sweden. We're both 3-1 at this point. I'm playing Lightside. I think I've reviewed a game or two of this deck so far, so hopefully I don't repeat myself. But you can always check out the streams. There's a competitive Decipher era playlist on the YouTube channel for the Players Committee. So that's youtube.com/c, as in cat/Star Wars CCG. So that's the official PC YouTube channel. And right on the homepage, there's like a special playlist for this stuff. So check out those other ones too. We'll keep adding on to that. One of the initiatives, I guess I'll say, for the 2023 Retro League was just to have more streams. We want to make deck lists more available, more visible for people coming back who want to play. So we just have a better resource system set up, honestly. That's where you can see other streams. So, all right, so playing against Tony here. I just started with my throne room. This was a deck I started throne room, but played like 4 Obi-Wan's Huts and like 5 Obi-Wans. And this is where I mentioned before, like I'm pretty afraid of like a deck with just 20 scanning crews basically, who just keep taking away my rebels, and result in me not being able to eventually get my rebels out, which means I can't win Sense Ultra Wars really that well, and can't really battle if all my good characters are always in my use pile. I could grab scanning crew, but if I'm getting like kind of force choked or whatever, which is actually in the case here, because I open-handed a Obi-Wan's Hut, but nothing else. And Tony's got Kashyyyk out now, and I'm just going to draw here. So what I can tease is that this was a very close game. Um, I think like late game, and as I mentioned before too, I think a lot of times in these retro formats, you kind of like seesaw back and forth, and you can afford to like eat like a battle damage of 7 or vice versa. There's just a lot of ups and downs because you just have a lot of cards face down as opposed to nowadays where there's a lot more cards um, on the table to start the game. So I'm fortunate I get Obi-Wan out here. So now I have, 2 senses in my hand. I got 2 tentacles. Hoping to not get blown out in any sense alter situations. But he comes down here with Presence of the Force. I can't see my last card here because there's like the play buttons overlapping it, but I don't think it's an alter. Or else I probably would have altered it. So he comes down with Tarkin and Vader. This is bad news for me. Um, I don't remember every detail of this game, but we'll see. So limited resources right off the bat, so that's kind of a harbinger, I guess is the term. um, so that's going to be in his reserve deck. So this is brutal. So I lose, I draw 0, would have been canceled anyway. So I can't really peel 11, so I lose 2 here. Lose that 0 so it doesn't keep floating around. Boshek from reserve, and I lose Obi. But now he's got this drain of 4 here, which is going to be an issue that I have to deal with because and in my decks, I posted them. I probably should have. I don't think I have any undercover effects. I probably should. I think a lot of other people, more accustomed to the format, know that play 2 or 3 undercovers, play like R2D2. I have a Jerome Webb, like Momona Dawn. Undercover spies are pretty good still in this format. So, I have a lightsaber here, which is helpful. I get Mantelian Sabrip out. Got a couple senses to back up an altar for it. And at least I'm pretty sure I always save like 1 for a tentacle here. So if I, go to send something, yeah, okay, here we go. This is exactly what happens. He goes to alter it. I'm going to grab it, do this trick. I shouldn't even say trick. It's pretty much like standard operating procedure for this format. You grab the altar, then you sense the altar, and then he can't sense it back. He can't alter it again. So he grabs the sense, which is, good play for him in the long-term scheme of the game. But he does not have another sense for my sense. And even if he did, he'd have to pay 2 force for it. So he opts to put down Blizzard 1, and he's going to put both his characters inside here, which is, I don't know, just 1. I was going to say, both of them inside is pretty tough to cut through. So I go, sorry about the mess here against Vader, which, Destinies are usually really bad in reserve decks, especially earlier in the game. But I think I got pretty fortunate here to draw. Again, just a lot of 1s and 0s floating around. But drew just enough to hit Vader. He apparently has had like no senses in his hand the whole game so far, which has worked in my favor. Not that he has a huge hand right now, but so Vader gets chopped, and he plays Evader to send him to use pile. But now he's got Tarkin here with no Battle Destiny. It is immune less than 4, and it's got decent power, but I'm going to send down Han here and just try to kick him off, get him out of the Obi-Wan's hut. But I don't think I draw high here if I recall. Yeah, 2. So, and I choose not to redraw it. I guess I'm afraid of drawing a 1 or a 0. So I could speed this up too. So like I said, I only have 2 streams tonight, so I think some of the other ones we've done some live streams, which take a little bit longer because you're kind of waiting for the players to kind of make all their decisions. I think we've done some with like maybe 2 or 3 on games. All right, so yeah, this is where he comes down, puts Vader inside Blizzard 1, which is going to be pretty tough to crack, since now I can't even like use the saber to like get rid of Tarkin, even if I got to go a turn and eat some battle damage loss. But so fortunately I have Mantelian Sabrip here, but I think in this case it makes sense for me just to lose Jerome Webb, who covers the 4, or else I'd have to lose like a powerful character like Obi, which I don't want to do. So I'll probably send him back down. R3PO wouldn't cover, plus he'd be good for late game against U3PO, or at some point in the game. Actually, yes. So now I'm starting to remember this game. This game was pretty wild. All right, so now I got Obi, I got lightsaber efficiency. So right there, that's 8 power that I just picked up in the battle. But I'm just gonna pass here because and this is, I think, in newer players, they just want to battle, but you don't want to open yourself up to a counter beat. Especially early in the game, the Destiny draws could go pretty poorly for me here. Um, and I could just end up just going backwards completely. And, I mean, he might lose like a couple cards to the battle damage, but it's important that especially because my hand is not really that great right now. All I have is a Momo and a Dawn, who's he's not a world beater, put it that way. He's more of a better tool for just getting to non-battlegrounds. All right, so he's gonna battle here. Draws a 2, turns into a 3. I draw a 1, which he's gonna cancel, but now he's got to lose 2 damage. But I can't use Mantalian Savrip here because I won the battle, and I got to lose somebody, so I lose Leia. I draw these 4 Obi-Wan's huts. Once I get 1 out, the other 3 make for an easy thing to lose, like a Force Drain or battle damage. This shuffle's kind of nice, but my reserve deck's pretty high, so it's not like I'm able to track it. At this point in the game, late game, it'll be a little bit better. So I figure I go Tanif here. I guess I'm fortunate. Either I think I had the barrier because I think it was just covered by the play button. So I have Savrip, I have a barrier, which I'm going to play here against the Tyrant. Neither of us are activating a ton of force. Plus I have a sensor altar to back up if he has a sense for my barrier. But now he goes Mahdi, so now I need to figure something out here. Oh. He's going to play Black Maneuvers, which is going to be a little bit tough for him to activate down to at this point. Embarks on there. And I got to figure something out. I don't have any pilots, so I'm just going to run away to Kifex, which is fortunately only a couple parsecs away. And we're just going to stare at each other for this turn at Obi-Wan's hut. So I'm just building a hand. You guys can probably see. You know what? This is let me make this a little bit bigger. I don't think anything was cut off, but make the screen a tad bigger. All right, so he goes Ozzel and a Victory Class Star Destroyer. Neither of us draw Battle Destiny. I think I'm just going to toss somebody from hand. Yeah, Momal goes to cover the 3 battle damage. And now he's going to reinforce in case, maybe he might suspect that I drew into something. I kind of blew through the soft cap for Monarch. And there's Grimtosh as I alter the presence of the Force. Take that down. I'm trying to think what my plan is here. But I have Neighborin. Oh, yeah, I know what my plan is. So I have Revolution, I have Neighborin. Census Altars, I got quite a mercenary to protect against Ellis. Got Obi-Wan's lightsaber. So I'm going to play Neighborin here. Fortunately, draw 0, so it's going to be a nice free trip to run away to the throne room, where I can drain for 2. And he already played one of his evaders. I don't know exactly how many he had. He might have lost another one, actually. But I think in this game, I don't think, I know, I was very cautious in when exactly I was going to put down the revolutions. I think I do it this turn to protect myself from this drain of 3, right? So, yeah. But now that I have a couple things to back it up with the sense, the grappling hook, Altar's already unique. But now, kind of change the board state here where he's going to drain for 2. I'm threatening 3 at the throne room, 3 at Tanif, but 3 at Death Star rather, but he's of course going to deal with that. I draw another Revolution, which I could play on the throne room, that's what I think I'm very cautious about because the Death Mark comes out against Han. I'm going to alter this one as quick as possible. Because if I Revolution the throne room too early, then I'm really choking myself. I'm only activating 5 a turn, which is nothing. And of course I don't want to put out Mos Eisley. I want his Blizzard 1 and Tarkin and Vader stranded at this place where they can't force drain at all. But of course he comes down with U3PO, the OG, the obnoxious one, U3PO, but I have R3PO in my hand, and he's going to come down this turn to chill next to U3PO, and I'm just going to hope that Tony does not have a restraining bolt for my R3PO. So this is 4 damage a turn, unless he breaks U3PO's cover. Alright, so I eventually figure I should put Biggs on, even though I'm going to keep running away. Let me put something on so at least I can draw Battle Destiny, in case he keeps coming out with Victory Class Star Destroyers. So he's going to try to alter the revolution. I, of course, have 2 senses to back it up, but I can only play 1 because now I got to stack it and pay 2, and now I can only play. And now, so this was a great play by him. So he baited out my sense so that I couldn't. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, no, take this back. I'm thinking of something else. So he tries to run away with U3PO, which I just allow, I guess. So I think I figured, so in my hand I have quite a mercenary. I could have used 2 to play it. I did not want to do that because I'd rather, I guess, have it so that these guys can't Ellis over here. This game has got a little bit of deja vu, as we'll see towards the end. So I figure, okay, he runs away. Let me just drain for 3 here then at the throne room. It's not quite as good as pinging him for 4 with R3PO, but figure might be better to hold on to that quite a mercenary. And I couldn't sense that Ellis because I would have had to pay 3 and I only had 2 saved. And I'm really only activating 6 here, but as long as he keeps chasing me around, drains for 2, I drain for 3. That I think favors me. I think I'm slightly up in the life force count, so the way the trajectory is, that's good for me. But eventually he's probably gonna. I think he does. He pieces together some ships to go to Kashyyyk. Right, so I just drop a bunch here, get a barrier. Sorry about the mess, which would have been another way to deal with U3PO. I draw another Obi-Wan's hut, which I just toss. I have it disarmed in case he tries to put Vader's lightsaber, I guess, and come after me, but I don't think he really does that. Alright, so he has Victory Class Star Destroyer, but he has to keep reinforcing, keep chasing me. But now he has the Hyperspeed 4. He thinks they're so much better than the Imperial Class in practicality. Not quite as iconic as the Imperial Class Star Destroyer, which of course is the that famous tournament foil, which is very expensive. Alright, so I'm going to drain a 3 here. Got the throne room again. He loses Captain Piet and Commander Braji. Now I rev the throne room because I figure let me try to get 2 more drain in here. So now this is a drain of 5. Of course, we do not have stuff like Resistance or Ultimatum at this point in Star Wars CCG. They don't come out for another, year and a half until April, I think, is when Jabba's Palace came out. April of 1998. So I lose the utility belt. Figure I don't have to worry about Vader playing the circle's now complete, because if he tries to get over to the throne room, I'm going to play quite a mercenary and get rid of him. But of course, then he could theoretically put another Vader down. But the utility belt only really works on Tatooine, right? So while on Tatooine, yeah. So that's where I just threw that card away. Alright, so he's going to keep chasing me to Kifex. He's got a little more activation going. I took away that force from myself for the throne room, but then he gave me one back with Kessel. He's going to play Omnibox. I'm just going to grab it. I trade a card for his card, kind of like in chess when you just trade like a queen for a queen or something. Of course, these cards aren't quite that powerful as relative to everything else, but I'm going to get my big force drain of 5 in here. And at this point, it's like 20 to... I'm up. Yeah, he peels a bunch. Force pile. Tatooine set for stun. So he's at 21, and I'm at 29. So that's pretty good for me, but he's now, if I keep running, he's now doing 4 damage. I'm doing 5. But I need to be wary, and I think this is where I make my mistake, as I have a second Grimtosh in my hand. Another Obi-Wan's lightsaber, which isn't going to be very helpful. Yeah, okay. I think this is where I recall. So we're at turn 13 already. So I toss Obi Saber. I toss one of my 2 Grimtosh. I toss the Cantina because I don't want to give him a place to go on Tatooine. Toss the Disarm. Doesn't look like Vader's lightsaber's coming out, so I'm not going to be able to play the Disarmed, let alone if Vader first needs to get there, then he needs to get a lightsaber. So this, I think, is where he makes a pretty good play. Maybe it's next turn. Yeah, so he disembarks. Yeah, so this is a good play by him. So he disembarks Vader. Then he's going to alter the revolution. Let's see, which one did he target? Yeah, the one at Obi-Wan's hut, so he can then, start draining for 3 there. And of course, I have to play something to cancel that. Like, I have a sense. And that's about it. I have 1 sense, which I'd have to pay 3 force for. I have 4 force saved. So I play the sense, cancels alter. Now I only have 1 force saved. He then follows up with an Ellis Hellrod, which is a really good play by him, that I can't play quite a mercenary because I don't have 2 force. I only have 1 force. So I was like, hat tip. That's well done. Because, and that's what I think happens a lot in this format, where you kind of have to bait out the sense on like the lesser of 2 evils, but the grabber, of course, of There'll Be Hell to Pay was big here. So now he plays a 6, which he can cycle and know where that is, track that around pretty easily, and draw it in any key battle. And now he's taken away all of my damage, so that's not ideal. I played Best Shuffle, even though I can't track down to it, but I play that on his use pile, so he can't track the dark maneuvers. Okay, so that's good by me, I guess. And now he shuffles my reserve deck, which actually I think is better for him now that it's possibly shuffled up that 5 that I couldn't even activate down to. So fortunately I have Sorry About the Mess. I think I play conservative and go for Tarkin. Yeah, I just don't want to risk. I have to get rid of Vader. Figure get rid of Tarkin, and then I still have 2 swings during the battle, and I'm going to have a lot more power than Vader. So I draw 5-3. I say to myself, oh, I probably could have hit Vader, but hindsight's 20/20 is the phrase, right? So Tarkin goes, and now I'm in a pretty good situation to beat up on Vader. I don't know if I saw him draw a Gick or saw him lose a Gick, but this would be awesome if I could overflow him here. If I could hit Vader. So what I did in retrospect, all right, so Han, I get the redraw. I draw a 4. Now what I should have done, after I drew a 4 for the first Destiny, I should have basically said, unless I hit, redraw this, because a 4 is a pretty good first Destiny. Maybe I have a 5 floating around. I have a bunch of 3s, I think. So I play conservative and figure, okay, I'm going to have a second swing. Let me not burn Han here. But, what was I expecting? To then draw a 5 when I swing the second time? I should have redrawn here. Should have had more of a plan in place of just hey, 4 or higher, leave it, and then definitely redraw if don't hit on the second Destiny. Because if I hit Vader here, this is, really bad for him then, because even if he draws pretty high, if I draw somewhat high, he's got to peel 5-6 4s, which will really set him back. And then plus I'm going to have this drain of 5 I'm dealing with. He's going to lose his highest ability character for senses and alters. So I just miss. I would have, if I redrawed with Han, again, hindsight 20/20, I would have drawn into a 3 instead of the 2 for the Falcon. I would have hit Vader. And then he, of course, draws this limited resources, which, we'll talk about that in a second. So I draw a 4 for Battle Destiny, which isn't too bad. But Vader's going to be able to cover. If I actually hit him, if I did the redraw, what would the math have been? So I would have redrawn into a 3, and then would have drawn a 3 for Battle Destiny, so it would have been 1 lower. You would have had to peel 6. Okay, it's kind of like what I was saying. But what was I just saying? Oh, so now he can track around that limited resources pretty easily and draw into it. And as we get late game, it's going to be pretty tight for how I'm going to walk the tightrope. So I have 16 plus 7 is 23. He has 19, so he's already closed the gap a little bit. He now has this drain of 2, which toss a Grimtosh. Figure at this point it's not really going to be very helpful. Grimtosh from off the top. Vader comes back. Play the barrier, I think, more so almost to just cycle it and just track around to 4. Which maybe if I could pair it, just with a 2 or the 3 rather, I could hit Vader again. And he's going to keep chasing me in space. We keep doing this cat and mouse game. And we're gonna, of course, I'm planning to have another battle here, and I really, really want to overflow Vader, but to be spoiler here, I probably should have tracked. I think could I have tracked this all around? Yeah, because it hadn't been shuffled. I probably should have. If I activated one, again, if I kind of did my math right here, very important to track around your destinies. Yeah. Yeah, I think I knew that was there. But yeah, this was not done well by me. I think there was a way I could have ensured that I hit Vader. But I think this goes really... Well, I draw a 5. That's good. So that means that Vader has to go because he's only immune less than 5. And he draws a 5, which becomes a 6, which means I got to lose either one of my 2 power characters. Invader or Luke, but at least I get rid of Vader, and then I can drain 4. What is that, 4? I don't know why I battled here. This I think what I, again, another uh, takeaway in retrospect. I probably should have tried to chip away at him a little bit more in space, and use Savrip to my advantage. I think I maybe overestimated how many like nouns he had in his deck between like pilots and starships. But if I could have, I got these 2 Lukes in my hand that are just like hanging out all game. Like I should have tried to use them more to just get rid of some of this stuff. There's just so much power here, and as long as I got bigs, I think that's bigs, not red leader. Um, my deck probably could use a couple more characters. It's pretty light. Um, so I Savrip one of the Lukes here, but I think there was like a turn or two before this I could have done something similar and just been in a little bit better position. Or maybe try to track around a 5 and try to do some damage with that. Alright, so he has a drain of 2 there. We're getting pretty tight here in Life Force. He now goes to I guess a 4th system, and reinforces a Kivek. So this is fun. So again, so he's going to play his 6. I activate a bunch. I want to neighbor in. I think this I actually did track. The Obi-Wan knew that it was going to be 1. Neighbor in the R3PO to go hang out with U3PO again. He plays Uta Guta solo, which cancels neighboring, but it doesn't do anything else because, unlike Quite a Mercenary, which makes all the characters lost, it only captures rebels, and he's not a rebel, so he just stays there, and nothing happens to your non-rebel characters. And now I'm going to make him lose 4 force here at R3PO, and drain 4 force here. So this is now I'm feeling good, I guess, again, about prospects here. Again, what I said a bunch of these games, it's like there's a lot of back and forth. Gonna put Wedge up here. I think this is where, yeah, I shouldn't have battled here. I think because this battle goes really poorly. I should have maybe just squatted here, and just again tried to stretch out the game. I think it favors me. And he draws that limited, which of course he's gonna be able to try. He should be able to track and draw that pretty easily now. You can just activate down, and it'll be like 3rd from the bottom of his force pile. Draw into at the end of his turn. He can even do a couple things. So I run away. So yeah, so I had to lose a lot of force. I should not have battled there. I should have just squatted. I had Luca Savrip if I needed to. I had 2 other pilots if I really needed to lose one. So that was not good. Don't do that. Don't be afraid to pass your battle phase. Because I'm eating the 2 jam. I mean, at this stage of the game, every card is going to be critical. He breaks U3PO's cover, which means now he's only going to lose 2 force. Comes back with another Vader to the throne room, which is real bad for me because that's not good. And that was a big turn for him. Basically, I think I changed how much I activated here. And oh, that's right. He forgot to. Yeah, so I gave him a revert here, which isn't a huge deal. Well, it's a huge deal, and it probably helped him win the game, but not something that I was. I think cards were already drawn or something like that. I don't know. Not a huge deal because his game text is, or not, take that back. R3PO's. Each opponent's spy present, opponent must lose. So if U3PO is inside an enclosed vehicle, he's not present, and therefore my R3PO doesn't ping. So all my damage is taken away. I go from 4 and 4 to 0, or from 8 to 0, I should say. So I feel like I have to battle here because I don't really have much else to do. Go to swing at Vader. Fortunately, I hit. I'm not sure if I knew that was going to happen, but that's good. He's going to now play Alter on the Revo, which, why did he do this? I know why he did this. I think he baited this. This might have been another bait. So he gets rid of my Revo, gives me some force back, which don't really matter at this point. I draw a 1, which is actually, that's kind of good. If I'm him, I don't even draw Battle Destiny here. Yeah, this was bad by him. So this was really fortunate. It's because if I'm him, I don't even draw, and that means, oh, wait a minute. No, that wouldn't do anything. Yeah, never mind. He has to draw because if not, Luke lives, and if he draws, okay, at least he makes me use my Savrip or dares me to, makes me show that I have Savrip. Sorry, I don't know what I'm thinking. Um, it was good that I drew low because it would have, like if I drew like a 4, he could have drawn like a 2, become a 3. I couldn't use Savrip, and Luke was not immune. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get at. Is there was a way there that Luke died, um, and that would have been bad because then I definitely would have lost the game. Um, all right, so now at least I'm threatening 4 damage here. He's got 8 force left, but I need to be wary of the limited resources. I think at this turn, I mean, I'm surprised he doesn't have it yet, but I guess last turn he had to do some stuff. And now he's going to chase me, block my drain at Kifex, and he definitely draws into the limited resources now. As we enter in my turn 17, and I got 2 altars. I can't really just play them to cycle them because I need to stay above. I need to be at 3 or more cards in hand, but he is threatening damage of 2 and 1. And this is where I thought long and hard of like, is there a way I can win this? And I don't think there was. Like I can throw the Obi away to Savrip and then just lose Tanev, so I don't get overflowed here, but I had to block the drain. But he's doing 3 damage, and I can't peel at all. So I was just between a rock and a hard place, and I needed one more card, honestly. So this is where, in retrospect, every card matters. You don't want to be like over deploying stuff. Sometimes it can come back to bite you. I probably did that at some point, especially with Savrip being such a good card, and it enables you not to over deploy to some extent. So this is where I'm just like, all right, let me show me your hand, show me if you got it or not, and he does. So that's wins the game. So he wins by 3. It was a real tight game. Few things to learn on both sides. And yeah, so he won and moved to 4-1. Okay, all right. So I got this other game. Now this one, like I said, I don't know anything about it. I just heard it was a wild game, and it was very close. So we'll see. This is between, I think his name is Philip and Jared. Not me, Jared. Another Jared. Jared Greenwald. So he is light side, and actually this was provided to me by Charles Hickey. So thanks to teacher for sending me this replay. He said it's a wild game. Said it was not like a perfect game played, but it had some interesting aspects to it. So we see a couple ships here. We got Dantooine, a couple 2-0s, dark. Excuse me, a little late here on the East Coast. But definitely want to get these streams in and kind of capstone the Premiere-Hoth event. All right, so light side needs to get some activation. It looks like he has Yavin 4. Puts that out. Dantooine's pretty neat. I think it's your capitals deploy -2 here. Can become a liability. Dark side drains for 2 there. We got, Dutch. So Dutch gets Scanning Crude out of his hand. And then we got a Monarch loss that's going to kill 2 Han Solos, so that's a bummer. Another Twix comes out from Darkside. And I think Jared ended up 3-3 for the event, and Phil ended up 1-5. So we got on the edge out of somewhere, just in case anyone's wondering. So this wasn't like one of the top tables, but I always ask, I'm always appreciative of players who provide interesting games. Not every game stream has to be like the top tables. Wow. All right. So Vader, Tarkin, and Imperial Supply used to activate a few force. He loses. I think he lost another Monarch. All right. So Kashyyyk comes out from Light. Light has these 2 Corvettes here that one's going to run to Yavin. The other's also going to run to Yavin. And undercover Leia. Alright, so now Dark's getting that drain of 2 in. Uh-oh. Alright, it could be worse. To reduce the loss by 1. I never like doing that. Especially because like he's exposing himself here to like it's worse, or they'll be able to pay to grab it. Like, at least if you're going to play, it could be worse. Get your money's worth out of it, and allow it to reduce it by 2. But at the same time, maybe maybe Jared's thinking that he doesn't have. It's worse now, and the longer the game goes, the more likely he is to draw, or like a sensor or whatever. All right, so Scanning Crew's played again. There goes Leia. Darkseid chased him back to Yavin, which is now another drain of 2. Corvette comes down for just 2 to Dantooine, KFC. And it looks like maybe we're going to run away to Dantooine. He pretty much has to run away, I guess, from this because it's Tarkin Invader, and you're getting no Battle Destiny. If you don't draw 2 Battle Destiny or have a ton of power, it's not going to be worth it. All right, so General Veer's piloting in space. Admiral Mahdi goes down for 1 force because deploy -2 if at least 2 Imperial starships on the table. Commander Praji, and now Phil has 2 Drain 2 systems. Pretty solidified with 3 pilots on each of these Victory class Star Destroyers. Alright, so now Jared looks like he's going to move all his ships and contest the Kashyyyk drain and draw. Alright, so we got Momal. Wired Serper, another spy. Alright, DS614, Imperial Supply, loses Trample, activates more force. Okay, now we're going too fast here. I gotta slow down. Alright, so we get a battle. Out of nowhere, that's going to add a Battle Destiny, because he's got a starship with maneuver greater than 3 in the X-Wing. We're going to see a Sense come out, which should easily... Yep, draws a 4, so the out of nowhere is canceled. Dark has more powers. A lot of zeros floating around there with that verify. DS614 went to look for Lone Pilot. Oof. Dark draws a 0. Light draws a 5. Oof. Alright, so he's going to lose Mahdi or Veers. He loses Veers. Alright, Devastator. Oh, alright, so Dark consolidates their fleet. So we got 3 Star Destroyers. This would be a good time for Collision. Premiere card that I've used a few times recently. Tantive 4 goes to Dantooine. We got Momal going to the War Room. And Wire and Serper, so two gritty spies here. I think they're power 1 each, threatening a drain of 2, but at least they get a Battle Destiny. Not a ton of forfeit, but they're trying to change the math here. It looks like Light has weathered an early storm to an extent. And now he's got another, lots of spies. Spies undercovers. Kind of forced, I think Darkseid might be playing this a little conservative. Probably didn't have to move all 3 of his ships. You probably could have left one of them somewhere, but... Alright, so now he's moving all 3. Vastly outpowering, and of course he cancels the Destiny with Tarkin. And Light is going to get the drain of 2 in at the War Room. Scanning Crew. Man, those Scanning Crews are really pesky. Alright, so, sorry, barrier on this new Corvette? Yeah. Alright, so one of the Corvettes can't move. Oh, the one that went to Dantooine. Interesting. Alright, so Light's just going to run away again in space. Gravity Shadow, I guess, when you're moving all those ships, it's not a huge... If you can get the last one to be stuck there, that'd be pretty big. So, Gravity Shadow is a legal card at this point. It's from the Jedi Pack, which was released, I think, in, like, February or April of 96. And this, of course, is, like, after Hoth, which was November of 96. Alright, it could be worse off the top. Undercover from hand. Doesn't look like Darkseid's going to the ground anytime soon. And plus he has another undercover and an R2-D2. Dark's going to replenish their hand here. Definitely like a game of like cat and mouse. Alright, so Wire and Serper looks at 2 random cards in Dark's hand. Another Tarkin and an Altar. He's going to now move his ships off Dantooine. Oh, I wonder if all these ships end up at the same system. That would be fun. And he's just going to draw a wedge. That's pretty good. Don't get cocky. Gets rid of a tie. I think you need Han in battle, right? If a opponent is initiated battle, choose one tie LN present to be lost. Oof. That could be such a blowout. Like in my game, when he had the black 2 and the Star Destroyer. Alright, we got U3PO. Let's see what happens here if he finds like a double agent or something like that. Alright, and he's going to move all 3 of his ships over to Yavin. Okay. Sunset Blizzard 1. Alright, Tatooine comes out. Leia goes to a non-battleground. Dutch is going to join her so she doesn't get... so she's not too vulnerable, I should say. X-Wing moves to Tatooine. I merged Dantooine and Tatooine. I guess you say it in the same way. Alright, runs away. So Light is just getting more and more nouns onto the board here. Dark is kind of doom stacking one system with their 3 ships. Undercover off the top. And now Dark's just going to chase. So, more chasing, but now Light's going to have... it's still only going to be 2 damage because U3PO came out. Alright, so... Neither player able to get like a huge turn of damage through yet. That on the edge could be pretty helpful if he could track like a 5 or 6 at some point. He could play that on Leia. It's any rebel ability greater than 2. Yeah. Track a 5 and then say 4, draw 5. Kessel, that'll be good for light side. They got Luke and Red 5 and R2D2. That could be a pretty potent ship, but he might want R2 as undercover to go to like Mos Eisley or something to block a train. Alright, so Light gets 2 more damage through the Wampa Cave. Whoa, alright, we have a battle here. Luke and Red 5 are going to battle against Devastator and Victory Cloud. So the one turn that Dark did not keep all 3 of his ships together, Light draws a 4. Calfound Syndros kicks in, reduces it to 0. Dark loses Mahdi and 3 battle damage. So it's pretty big for Light there. Kind of changing the math here, or helping change the math, I should say. It doesn't even have to run away, so it just moves ships from Dantooine over to Tatooine. Because I guess why didn't he move them all to Kessel? I would have just moved them all to Kessel. Mosep, DS613, Dansborn, 3 characters for 5 power. Quite a crew. Draw 3, Light draws a 1. So that's... yeah, it's pretty good for... and then Dark is going to consolidate again in space, so... both players at 17-18 force. Oh, on the edge gets sensed. I guess he was tracking there because he didn't activate everything. Alright, but on the edge goes lost. And he knew there was a sense in his hand from Wire and Serper, right? And an altar. Alright, so we just saw Imperial Supply. Let me slow down here. So he's going to put Undercover on Leia basically to save her. Because he has no other way to reinforce. Really needs to draw some cards here. Runs to Kessel. I guess if he spreads out too thin, then Dark can split up their fleet, especially with only 1 card in Light Side's hand, although they're going to draw some more here. But, yeah, yes, thanks, E-Scrapper. Yeah, sorry. A couple yawns in there, but almost done. Alright, so Light is going to replenish their hand here, draw some more characters. That's pretty crucial. But they only have 10 cards face down now. So this looks like it's going to favor Dark. But again, I was told this is a very, very close game. So it loses Hobby, loses the War Room. Yeah, that's not going to help right now. He's already activating plenty. Dark covers up that drain of 3, which is a smart play. Chips away a drain of 1 and 1. But now Dark is threatening a drain of 2 at Kashyyyk. We see a Vader and an Evader in his hand, thanks to Wire and Serper's game text. 2 icons here. Alright, we get Red 6 and... was that Porkins? Porkins! They don't even draw Battle Destiny here. Wow. Alright, so that's good for Light. Good for the good guys, I guess. Is that Praji? Yeah, Praji goes lost. 1 X-Wing chipping away. Alright, so now he's going to reinforce with Corvette. And another Corvette. and run away. And he's got a lot of starships at Kashyyyk now. Dark's going to just do a drain of 1. Light looks like they're threatening drains of 2. Yeah, if you're Dark, don't you want to... I would just move to Danoe and try to get him to drag his ships over there where they then can't drain once Dark runs away. Looks like it's going to be another game where every force matters here. So Dark is at 23, Light's only at 12. So Dark's been up for a while now, but it looks like ever so slightly Light is starting to catch up. So just a lot more move phase stuff. I wonder how close this game got to time, because when you have a game like this where lots of moving, it probably gets pretty low on the timer. Again, this was game 6 or 5 or 6. It was late in the event. Red leader, Luke, another on the edge. He loses the Luke because he's already on the table. I wonder if he's able to pull off on the edge. He's got to be able to, right? Or else he's... But Dark's not doing any damage here, so... Alright, so Light's going to drain for 1 and 1. Oh, he's just going to play the on the edge. Was he tracking? Oh, just as a 2. Another sense. Oh, man. And it's going to work. So sense cancels on the edge. So he didn't have any like alters to back it up. Even if he did. Alright, so Leia breaks her cover. Now she's probably going to run to the ice planes. Oh no. Oh no, they're battling. Red leader comes down. Going to pick a fight with DS613 and Dan's Borin. Light draws a 3. So that's going to cause Dark to lose one of their characters. Draws a 2. Light presumably is going to lose Red leader. And Dark loses somebody. So now they're both power 3. Neither of them draw Battle Destiny. But if Dark sits there, then Light can come down with Van and Willard on their turn, draw Battle Destiny, maybe overflow Mr. DS613, but depends if there's a Gick. Alright, so Dark draws a 0, which becomes a 1 because of Vader, of course. Dark has a lot more power. Oh, and then Light draws a 0 too. Oof. So Light has got to lose 12 battle damage. They lose 1 Corvette and an X-Wing. Okay. Yeah, at this part of the game, it's going to be hard for either player to completely like chip away at the other player's Space Force, but... Alright, so DS613 is just there by himself. Light gets their 2 drains through of 1. We see Vader, but he's not doing anything because he's also up in space. Here comes Willard. We get a battle here. Let's see what he draws. Draws a 5. Wow. Alright, so unless he has got a Gick, it's going to be, what is that, 4 overflow? Yep, loses the Gick, of course, off the reserve deck, as it goes. And a Vader, Presence of the Force, and a Sense. Alright, so now Lightsight's still hanging in there. R2-D2 goes away. Dark's going to try to chip away at space more. And draw a 4. Does Dark know where that 5 is? That undercover? Because that would reduce it. Yep, there it is again. So it's going to reduce... Oh, no, never mind. Never mind. Yeah, Tarkin cancels. So that... Never mind. Alright, so Light is going to lose a Sense from reserve deck and one of the Corvettes. So peel the card. Now it's got that drain at the Wampa Cave, but now he probably has to take the risk, right? He has to take the risk here of moving Willard over here and threatening the drain of 2 if you control a main power. So main power generators are not on table, so he should have probably activated a little bit more, right? He's going to go block that drain. Oh, if I was him, I would have moved Willard. Just take that gamble. Alright, so Dark gets a drain of 1 in. Light kind of hanging on here. They got 3 versus 9 force for Dark face down. Dark draws a 1. Remember, Light has KFC now, and there's no Tarkin. So they draw that 5 again, which is going to reduce the other one to 0. Okay, all right, I'm starting to see why I was told this game was pretty wild. Alright, so Light loses DS612. Has to reinforce with both Why is he? Why would he do that? I would not move both of them there. I would move. He's got to get drains in. Like, Light only has 3 cards left too, so they can't do too much. Yeah, if I yeah, there's just a lot of ships here, but Light can only move 3 of them. As I paused it here, I wonder if it would have been better for him just to like move to Danoine and threaten that drain. All right, so Light is going to get a drain of 1 and 2 and 1. But Dark isn't doing any damage here. Now, if you're Light, you just move one of those ships in front, block. Maybe, like, land the X-Wing. You should just land the X-Wing at Mos Eisley. Is that what he does? Especially Dark has no cards in their hand. Oh, no, I would have just landed. Alright, so now he moves ships to... Yeah, he could just land this X-Wing at Mos Eisley. Dark has no cards in hand. And then, yeah, it's very vulnerable, but what's he going to do with no cards in hand and 5 cards face down? Then it gets to do a drain of 2, 2, 2. Like, then that just wins the game. He can't block any of that. Or I guess he could move... Yeah, but make him do it. He could move a ship and shuttle people down, but... Maybe he didn't want to give him that idea. But... He, Wow, this would be quite a comeback for... And that Light's going to drain 2, 2. Which is not going to quite finish off Dark side. Let's see what happens. Alright, so now Dark only has 1 force to deal with, and initiate battle, but can't do anything else, so Light doesn't really care about this. So wow, so Light is going to make a comeback and win this game. Yeah, Light draws a 5, it's canceled. Moot point, he's just going to lose one of these people, and then drain on Hoth and win the game. Wow. Really, yeah, that was a really good game. Yeah, I think, yeah, so lessons learned, takeaways, that's what I always like to do with these. So it seemed like Dark was a little conservative early on with those ships. And it just needed to just cram more damage through earlier before, Light just kept pumping out more and more ships. But it really wasn't that formidable. Or maybe he could have at least like moved kind of the ship that had Tarkin Vader as like the bully and moved the other ones to just try to threaten drains. I don't know. Maybe that would have been the better path. But these became liabilities late game. U3PO could only save the 1. But yeah, it looks like Dark never really went to... They went to Ground here and Wampa Cave, but that's about it. But yeah, that was fun. Yeah, thanks for submitting that, Charles, and thanks for the players. I'm assuming they're okay with it. Again, the event's over, so no one has to really worry about their secret tech being unveiled. But of course, anyone can watch these games on Gem. Okay, all right. So yeah, did more of those games. I think we'll be done for Premiere through Hoth for a while. But I'll upload this to the YouTube channel, and people can watch it a week from now, 3 months from now, a year from now, whatever it might be. So thanks for watching, whether you did it live or a replay. Make sure you tune in on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. to Holo Theater, and make sure you follow the PC on Twitter at SWCCG to stay informed of all the fun stuff going on in the community. All right, everyone take care. Bye.